Welcome to my channel. This is an indication of some of the things that I cover on a regular basis in my videos. If you haven't already subscribed, please feel free to do so, and don't forget to click the little bell so that you'll get notified of future videos. Please feel free to share my videos on your social media, and I hope you enjoy the video which follows. Well, happy April Fool's Day, everybody. It's April 1st when I'm putting this little video together. Just doing a little bit more in my grow room under lights here, and I thought I'd show you how things are progressing. That is the flat of, well, it has 84 spaces in it. I think there's still a few blank spaces in there somewhere. But Dakota Tears, the heritage open pollinated variety of onions. I've never grown them before, but they're supposed to be an excellent storage onion, and that's always my goal with onions, is to get the ones that don't spoil as soon as you put them in storage. They're looking pretty good. They're flopping over, which I would expect them to do under lights here, but you can see like that one there. That's one plant, but it has 3 stems. These are actually leaves. And in onions, I've been led to believe, I've never actually done a dissection and counted them, but every leaf that an onion plant sends up, that's another ring on the onion. So you want to encourage as many of those as possible. It will be probably early May before I can put these out. I will be planting them in the hoop house, so I can put them out in early May. They will withstand some cold. I'll harden them off before I transplant them into the hoop house, but so far so good anyway. I just looked underneath. There's a hole under for each one of these cells, and so far no roots coming out through the bottom. Of the 11 strawberry seeds that I planted, I got 9 seedlings out of it, and they're all starting to grow their first true leaves, so they've withstood the process so far, I guess. These are the banana shallots, looking very much like an onion. They're in the same family. I put several seeds in each of the cells. There are 18 cells there, I guess. I think I only had one where nothing came up. This one back here, I kept it watered, but nothing up now. It's never going to be up, so perhaps I missed that cell, but I thought I put several seeds in each one. I'm pleased to report that the Norway spruce seeds that I planted are germinating quite nicely. This one here, it's got another one right behind it, sort of looking like one, but it's two, but it's really only one plant. This is the most developed one, and as you can see, it sort of has a little fringe of needles, sort of like a spruce tree would have. I'll see if I can zoom in on it. Yeah. There's one other that has lost its little seed covering, and there are several more that are up. Like this. They still have the covering over the top of the seed, and I'm keeping them covered so that it's quite humid in there, and they will hopefully make it and lose their seed covering soon. But I'm very pleased with the results. It didn't take hardly any time. Well, I just transplanted the 2 little spruce trees that had managed to lose their seed covering into individual pots. The 2 pots that had the strawberry seeds that didn't germinate, so more than likely now they'll germinate and I'll have strawberries in with my spruce trees. Well, I'm planting my tomato seeds today. The variety is Cole, C-O-L-E. A variety that I grew last year and really liked. It's another heirloom open pollinated variety. I get the seeds from Annapolis Seeds in Nova Scotia. I'm doing the same thing with these that I've done with the strawberry plants. I'm starting them in their own individual pots. I am putting in a couple of seeds, and they'll probably both germinate, but I'll cut one off. And I'm doing a dozen pots. I'm not planting as many things as I planted in previous years. Last year in particular, I had a lot of things left over and couldn't even find people to give it to. And it takes up so much space here in the light garden in the grow room. So I'm trying to be more conservative this year. I had plans of getting my brassicas from a garden center. And with what's going on now with the COVID-19 virus, I gave up on that. I've ordered seedlings. I ordered seeds from Vessi's for cabbage, cauliflower, and broccoli. They haven't arrived yet, but they'll arrive in plenty of time. I don't plant those until at least the middle of April. But I don't know what's going to happen with garden centers when it comes garden center season here, if they'll actually even be allowed to open. I called Kent Building Supplies yesterday. It's a large building supply store throughout Atlantic Canada, run by the Irving Corporation. Just curious as to whether or not they had stocked the ProMix, organic ProMix for vegetables and herbs that they had last year for the first time, and I really liked it. I used many bags of it. The lady that I spoke with was very helpful, but she said, I have no idea. She said she was the person that would know if it had been received, and she has no record of it being received. She said it may well have been ordered, and suggested that I check back in mid-April. I thanked her, and one of her parting comments was, she said, I have no idea what's going to happen with our garden center, if it'll even get open with what's going on now. So that was another heads up. I hope they get that in, because I have plans of expanding some garden beds with it. It was an excellent product. It has 3 months supply of organic material to feed any plant. It worked very well in the beds that I used it on last year, and fairly expensive, but it's one of those things, you get what you pay for. It was a very good product. I'd like to get my hands on quite a bit of it. The ones, I guess you could buy it in smaller bags. I bought it in a bale, 18 kilogram bale, I think it was, and that did quite an area. But I plan to do sheet mulching. You lay down cardboard. On top of the cardboard, I've got quite a bit of aged chicken manure that I'll put a layer, and then on top of that I'd like to be able to put a good thick layer of the organic ProMix. But time will tell if I can actually get my hands on it. It's going to be a strange gardening season, I think. Okay, time for a little humor. I ordered this from Vessi's, one of my favorite seed companies, and they also sell some pretty good useful garden items. It's a pop-up screen. It's 4 foot square and 4 foot high, so it's basically a cube, and it's meant to just pop up and you can put it over a 4 foot square bed. My use for it was going to be to cover my brassicas, see if I can't keep the cabbage moth from destroying them this year. It arrived in a not terribly large box, maybe 2 foot square and 3 or 4 inches thick. So I took it out. It was in a nylon zip container with a zipper on it that was about the same size as the box, about 2 feet across and a couple of inches thick. So I thought, well, I will take it out of the container and see what it looks like. I took it out, and of course it didn't immediately pop into shape, but I thought, well, it shouldn't be that difficult to get it back in there. I'll let it pop into shape. So in the middle of the living room floor, I opened the thing up, and I think I'm going to like it. It's very nice. there isn't a power on earth that could get it back into that nylon carrier that it came in. I tried and tried and tried. I can get it so that it goes flat. It's sort of 4 foot square and just an inch or two thick, or 3 or 4 inches thick. And that's as far as I could get it. I have put it in the spare bedroom where I have the grow lights leaning up against a wall. I give up, but I am looking forward to using it. The only disadvantage that I can see here is we get a lot of wind. It does come with pegs. I counted them as 10 small pegs to peg it down to the ground. So I'll have to look at that, and plus seeing what else I can do, perhaps putting bricks or something on top of the pegs, because we do get a lot of wind here. But I think it should work for keeping the cabbage moths away from my brassicas. Finally, I've tried many things in the past, row cover and whatever, and they still get in under it. Well, I put the planted tomato seeds in a tray on top of a propagating mat with a dome on top, which will soon steam up, I'm sure, when the soil starts to warm up from the propagating mat and the moisture starts to evaporate. But this, I like this one that I'm using this year. I didn't even realize when I bought it that it did that, but it has 2 movable vents. You can open up as much as you want to. You want some condensation and moisture in there, just to make sure that things don't dry out until the seeds germinate. But I think that's an excellent addition to these. First time I've ever had one. As I say, didn't know that I had it. When it arrived, I was surprised to see it. Well, that will conclude this little video with the strange year with the COVID-19 horrible virus everywhere. I hope you're all safe and sound and healthy and washing your hands and avoiding people at all cost. Let me know in the comments if you're doing anything different in your garden this year. But I might be wrong, but I think it's a year to plan on doing it mostly yourself. I saw a BBC article out of England where millions of seedlings at garden centers they feel are going to be just put on the compost pile. People can't travel to get to the garden centers, and hopefully we've all got seeds enough and we can grow what we need. Well, thank you very much for watching.